First at 6 tonight, a young Warwick woman killed in a drive-by shooting in Providence. And Providence police think it was random that the gunman opened fire on strangers on the east side of Providence. Good evening, I'm
Providence, Rhode Island. And we did a story here a few months ago. Maybe it was more than a few months ago. They had the representative there, Tiara Mack, and she was talking all this super duper, I mean, like next level, like giving condos and giving like blank checks to career criminals to try to turn them around. And there was some pushback up there, but most of the residents of Rhode Island seemed to, be too afraid to, say how they really felt, or they may really have felt like she felt. And now you're starting to see Rhode Island take a turn. And that day, that video I did, it was a mass shooting. 10 people were shot. And it just continued and continued and continued. And now you have this, you're starting to see the citizens, the silent majority as they call them, the people who really, aren't with this stuff, but, it's just not polite to, talk about those things, how you really feel about those things in public, because, you might offend, some people. Those people are now starting to face real consequences for their silence.
First at 6 tonight, a young Warwick woman killed in a drive-by shooting in Providence. And Providence police think it was random that the gunman opened fire on strangers on the east side of Providence. Good evening, I'm Patrice Wood.
And I'm Gene Valicenti. It was one of several shootings and stabbings in Providence over the weekend, adding to the spike in that kind of crime in that kind of city this year. NBC 10's Brian Crandall live with the latest.
And Gina, Patrice, that 24-year-old victim was standing here along the side of Olney Street near the University Heights apartment complex just up from North Main Street when police say a car drove by. A gunman opened fire from inside in, again, what they're saying is a random act of violence. The drive-by shooting claimed the life of Maya Brophy Behrman. Police say she was standing with a friend when she was shot around 3:30 Sunday morning.
This woman was not targeted at all.
Brophy Behrman had gone to URI and got her master's degree from Northeastern this spring. She just started a new job at a North Providence nursing home last month.
Just got her master's degree. God. Whole life ahead of her. 24 years old. Paid the cost to be the boss. You get a master's degree so that you can. They talk all this stuff about ain't no lack of opportunity. Anybody who wants to get into the master's program can get into the master's program. In fact, it's easier if you are a sun person. If you're a person of the sun, it's easier to get into one of these master's programs to earn your master's degree. The qualifications are lowered. The standard is lowered for you because they're trying to get more diversity on these campuses. So you don't even have to have the same qualifications. You just have to, meet the bare minimum, and they'll say, "Come on," because they need these diversity things, these diversity quotas. There's nothing. She had no advantage. This woman had no advantage in life over anybody of the sun. Doggone shame, man. She got caught up in this, man. These the stories that this is what this channel's about. These the videos that don't get a lot of hits. These the videos don't get a lot of clicks because it's not sensational. But this woman, She had nothing to do with this. She was just struck down, and there's absolutely no outrage. This should be outrage. There should be looting and burning in the streets for this woman. Are you kidding me? Bright young scholar, knocked down in the prime of her life. Boom. Oh well. Not a drug addict. Ain't been to the pen for armed robbery multiple times. Ain't got dozens of arrests on her record. Because the people we burned the stuff down for don't have to have all the electives and all the extracurriculars and all the grades that she need to get into the same master's program. You could have the people who we burn stuff down for and loot and ride over when they die. They could have half the resume coming out of high school as this girl and get into the same program because of diversity. These schools need diversity, and they're looking for candidates of color.
Brophy Behrman had gone to URI and got her master's degree from Northeastern this spring. She just started a new job at a North Providence nursing home last month. She turned 24 a little more than a week ago. Her father told me Maya was talented, accomplished, beautiful, caring young woman whose loss is immeasurable. Her mother said she had so many friends and she really just wanted to help people. These friends from high school leave candles at the scene.
Oh, she was kind to everybody. She was sweet, like intelligent. You know what I mean? Like, it's just tragic.
Also during the...
And she was woke. Because this brother wouldn't be talking about she was sweet if she wasn't woke. Okay? You could give this brother a kidney transplant if you're conservative. He gonna tell people that, you know, you're all right, guy. He's okay. She's all right. He's all right. She's cool. You know, whatever. So she was woke.
Her mother said she had so many friends and she really just wanted to help people. These friends from high school leave candles at the scene.
Oh, she was kind to everybody. She was sweet, like intelligent. You know what I mean? Like, it's just tragic.
Also during the overnight hours Sunday in Providence, 5 people were shot in a parking lot behind an old Stop and Shop on Reservoir Avenue, a spot police say is known for people to hang out. One victim is 16 years old, the others are in their 20s. All are expected to survive. There was a 3-car crash that led to a fight and a stabbing near the Union Avenue ramp on Route 10. Also, a 35-year-old man was stabbed near Broad Street. And that all follows a stabbing on Federal Hill 24 hours earlier, early Saturday morning. Police say it was either inside or outside Pure nightclub.
We feel that Federal Hill is one of the safest neighborhoods right now in the city of Providence. We work cooperatively with the police department on a regular basis.
So why all the violence the past few months? Police point to more guns on the street.
The gun sales, for some reason, went out of control during the COVID.
And they say they've confiscated 3 to 4 more times as many guns so far this year compared to last.
Imagine how many lives have been saved by this department taking those guns off the street. It's, you got to realize we're working hard.
No arrests yet in any of those weekend incidents. The city council president is now calling for a return to community policing and hiring more officers. I'm Brian Crandall, NBC 10 News, live in Providence.
New this morning, an arrest has been made in the hit-and-run death of actress Lisa Baines on the Upper West Side. Police say Baines was crossing Amsterdam Avenue on June 4th when 26-year-old Brian Boyd ran a red light on a motor scooter, knocking her over. The 65-year-old actress died from traumatic head injuries 10 days later. Boyd is charged with leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death and failure to yield to a pedestrian.
All right, we'll get to this brother a little later. Hit and runs. I could do a whole channel on those. This is sad, man. But let's talk about this woman, Lisa Baines. I know this woman Never thought she was going to go out like this. She looks good for being in her 60s. Just sad, man. The left continues to eat its own. Unless, of course, you think that brother voted for Trump. Now, if you think that brother voted for Trump, then argue with me and fuss with me about whether this is the left eating its own. Because this is the first year we're having a Republican primary in New York. Usually the Democrat wins the election. Only because of Curtis Silva, his popularity, there's even going to be an actual election between a Democrat and a Republican in New York. Usually the Democratic primary is the election. Just like it is in D.C., just like it is in most democratically run cities. So the left is eating its own, and Lisa Baines is the victim. They called her the OG Greta Thunberg. She was a very environmental activist, believed in all that environmental racism, and they put landfills near communities of color, and put power plants and stuff like that, and the runoff from different types of manufacturing goes into communities of color. The community colors are urban and different things like that, amongst other things. But that environmental racism is a big thing with these environmental activists. It's a new buzzword, environmental racism. The Upper West Side, the trendy side, and,
Police have made an arrest in connection with a hit-and-run crash that killed Gone Girl actress Lisa Bane on the Upper West Side. Officials say 26-year-old Brian Boyd is now charged with failing to yield to a pedestrian and leaving the scene of a deadly accident. Baines was killed after being hit by an electric scooter on a crosswalk on Amsterdam Avenue back on June 4th. A patrol officer reportedly recognized the suspect from a wanted poster. Police say he lived on the same corner where the crash happened.
And these wokey wokes hate police. But a detective recognized this guy from a wanted poster. Okay? This guy's a known guy. They know this guy. No surprise there. I can't wait till we finally get a peek at his rap sheet. And listen, I wouldn't blame him for leaving the scene. If he's out here, running from y'all let him out. Y'all let him out. Y'all kept letting him out. He's trying to stay out. I'm just more shocked that these brothers are now killing people with scooters. Like, not bikes. They're killing people with electric scooters. Like, brothers taking it to their next level with it. They'll whack you with a scooter. Not a car, not a truck, not a Yukon, or a Tahoe. An electric scooter. Bzzz, boom. You gone. Wow.